we put out a call to all the young actors in Great Britain.
A man with a bell.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We need you.
We practically was Blake and Schofield for that whole year.
It was more a lifestyle choice than a job.
I loved the idea of writing a war movie where the fight was to stop a battle.
We were using this, you know, some amazing technical gear, but it also felt like doing a kind of home video school play.
You would come up and say, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. But that was really beneficial.
Action would just mean sort of exist. And,
you know, and that's a good one, I like that. You know. And exist. And stop existing. That's good, I'm going to use that.
This is Entertainment Weekly's Around the Table.
I mean, the challenge of the whole one shot of it, on the one hand, it needed to be constantly changing, and the relationship between the camera and the actors changes constantly, so it doesn't, on a simple level, become monotonous and repetitive, but it's this dance always between sometimes being subjective and very intimate with you guys, and sometimes showing the geography and the distance. Sometimes it expresses physical difficulty, some of the things they have to go through, sometimes time. It's constantly, obviously, the light's changing, the weather's changing. There are unknowns as well within there, animals, babies, the things, you know, you fall down conditions, you know, you can stand up in the mud. Dean fell down. Dean came a cropper a couple of times. Yeah, and so did I. But I wasn't on camera, so it wasn't embarrassing for me. It was actually quite embarrassing. So is that, but, you know, he doesn't do anything bonkers. He doesn't go through keyholes or follow the path of a moving bullet. It's not. Roger and I talked a lot about it not being show-offy, didn't we, and not like draw attention to itself.
There's two things, though, isn't there? There's this concept of, like you would do on any film, you know, in the morning you block with the actors and figure where do you want to put the camera to express the scene visually.
Yeah.
So basically we were just doing the same thing, and the technical challenge was something else we didn't really think about until we figured out what we wanted to do with the camera and how we wanted to allow the audience to see something the guys were seeing, or not allow the audience to see something they were seeing, and build attention by not experiencing that till later.
Yeah,
you know?
a lot of it was about what the camera didn't see, exactly. Yeah. But, you know, it always slightly amuses me that people say, you know, there's a danger it could be a gimmick, and it's like, well, yeah, but look at it this way. We experience our lives as one long, continuous shot. That's how we live, that's how we walk through our life. It's editing that is the gimmick. Editing has become the grammar of film. You know, people go on and on about editing, and over the last 20 years has got more and more, you know, intense with the advent of digital editing, but they haven't explored the equivalent in the other direction, which is towards long, continuous, fluid takes, which experience action as we experience life. You know, discuss.
Yeah, it's funny, like what you said about editing. I think the one thing that when people have asked us about the long take, but it felt like the choreography that was, you know, that was very exact. We were afforded a beautiful amount of time, and therefore, the way that you sort of craft and edit gradually, we just crafted the front end, and that choreography which we stuck to, that was a process in itself to get to the steps. Like it wasn't like we turned up on day one in January and we're like, this is where you're walking, this is the path you're going to take, and this is where the camera's going to go. It was like, okay, what feels right? How long should that pause be? How fast do you want to walk? Okay, cool, well, let's see how we can work that. Then we'd go back, learn more about the characters through doing other aspects, and then come back to that one on a partially built set and go, okay, does that pace feel right? No, actually, no, that bit meant, you know, now I know that bit means more to him, so that silence should sustain longer. And so all of that choreography that we then stuck to and had to be strict, like had to be quite strict with, was actually so kind of organically crafted. We felt very free in that sort of.
Yeah, that's what I always felt, that by the time we came to shoot, you weren't aware of the camera because you were just doing the movement that was almost like by rote now. It was something that was built into the scene, the muscle memory. Yeah. And it was always in sync with the camera because that was your timing. Yeah. And it never changed, so you could be the characters rather than be aware of the technique.